Table brings together a diverse group of people, each with very different life experiences, to share a dinner and discuss one subject. A governor next to a mechanic, a business leader next to an artist, a chef next to a mental health leader. I introduce the subject, and we endeavor to have a conversation enriched by each person's unique experiences. Naturally, the conversation moves from experience to opinions, but we always end with conclusions for the audience. Our first subject, grace. Grace, people believe, is undeserved, unmerited favor, something that is maybe leveled in humility. It's something that we have a hard time defining, but we all know what it is. So I've asked you all, has there been a time in your life when you've experienced grace at just the right time?
The beautiful thing is that grace operates on this penultimate divine level, and it operates on this super relevant day-to-day level. It has to do with that cup of coffee where you let someone go before you. Who knows why and what and where.
It has to be between two human beings. Grace exists between people.
To me, the grace to extend to them is essentially looking at them and going, hey, guess what? I don't have it all figured out either.
No one has it figured out.
That's scary.
I definitely think about God piercing through darkness and creating spaces of light where there was no possibility.
Are we losing our capacity for grace? And look at the Republicans right now, and I'm not trying to be partisan, but name calling, it sort of reminds me of perhaps the British Parliament.
But not as articulate.
Not nearly. At least.
Think about Rwanda. If you go to Rwanda, when I think of like grace, I think about the people that had their arms chopped off and their families murdered. That I'm even sitting around this table right now. That's grace.
At the second dinner, we focus the conversation on a new subject, civility. Have you ever experienced civility that changed the course of your life?
Dr. Beard's leaning against the gurney, looking at me, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what's coming now? He steps up and looks me in the eye and he says, this was mismanaged. It won't happen again. And then he squeezes me on the shoulder and walks out. 7 words. He didn't berate me, he didn't yell at me, he didn't blame me, he didn't even mention me. He just stated the obvious fact, and it had just a profound impact.
Civility and being civil, that's the lubricant of developing relationships, and we're not seeing, I don't see that in the public discourse. Maybe I'm watching the wrong shows or seeing the wrong TV.
You're clearly watching the debates instead of watching, what did I say, Ellen?
Ellen, yes, yeah.
Just switch over.
It's as simple as walking over to your neighbor's house. Instead, it becomes this big email chain, talks about litigation. Just walk over to your neighbor's house and say, hey, can you please not park in front of the house, or can we figure something out?
Civility is the foundation of communication, and it's what allows you to have people hear you, not just listen to you. And it's what allows you to have those relationships that sustain us when we disagree. And I think it's fair to say that that level of civility is certainly lacking from our public discourse today, and I think we're all worse off for it.
If you want to go,
where did I support it? Where did I support it?
Hey,
Ted,
dividing by race is still here, and this is how Democrats do the disease.
You're an immigrant.
Absolutely.
With all of our phones, social media, sound bites, and the ever-polarizing political world we live in, it seems we're becoming disconnected from each other. But believe it or not, America has not lost the art of conversation. In 30 minutes, with food presented as a member of the cast, we create entertaining conversations that audiences feel a part of. Everyone's experience is different, but everyone is equal around table. Conversation, being civil to each other, complete strangers, face-to-face, breaking bread, and creating community. Table is a breath of fresh air and the most important step in the right direction.